Guess what? You're never going to guess. I'm doing my show in Melbourne from the 23rd to the 27th. That's pretty much the only reason that I'm uploading today, okay? But also, so make sure that you come and see that. You won't regret it as much as I don't regret just putting up this Revlon Colour Stay 24 hours that I sometimes use on my face when it's just looking a little too red. And today definitely wasn't one of those days, okay? But yes, you will definitely enjoy coming to my show because everybody does. Everybody really likes the Rome show because you want red pills. You are not going to get deeper red pills than you are from My Friendly Geordie stand-up show. It's just start to finish, your entire worldview, bam. Didn't think of it that way, can't think of it that way again. The previous way, that is. It's honestly great. Like, really, it just completely shapes how you see the world afterwards. You can't walk out of it not feeling differently. Everybody says exactly the same thing. Don't ever listen to anybody that has any negative comments for it. They're just bad people and they have limiting beliefs, which we're trying to get rid of here at Jordan Shanks. So, yeah, 23rd to the 27th. I'm going to put the link in the comments. But, all right. You want to know about why you're addicted to your phone? That's actually very good. I'm glad that you do, because many people don't, and it is scaring the shit out of me. And the reason it's scaring the shit out of me is because it's just like it's a skills deficit, man. It's a skills deficit. It's just robbing people of the time they need to accumulate anything. And I honestly think after a while the economy will come to a halt. And it's all because people are sitting there being like, oh, no, I don't agree with that. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. In a comment war. That is how the world will end. Not from World War III, but the great comment war of 2023. Yeah? So, there is actually like a lot of economists that are extremely worried about that now. So especially if you're a young person, good on you. You sprite, you. I'm very glad that you are one of these few people that is concerned about this and is trying to get off it. So the first thing that I want you to understand is when you are on your phone, yes, you can be addicted to it, and you probably do think that you're addicted to it, but I'm starting to get away from that word if I can, because I think that a better way for you to think about it is that you are disassociating. What's happening when you're on your phone is you are disassociating. It is much like why pornography is so damaging to the male mind, because they think like, I've already got the harem in my pants right now, baby, I don't have to try. Yeah? It's that, but constant. You can only look at porn like 3, 6, 10, depending on how horny you are times a day. Like, you know, all right. Look, one of my friends in high school tried to go for the world record of masturbating once, just between you and I. Hi, anyone under 18? And he was saying that he could only get to 7. Never tried to go that hard. I think after the third one, you'd just be spitting out sawdust, but whatever. So that's what he said. But look, the thing is that you could obviously do that a lot less than you could look at TikTok and then you could look at your phone. But this is the thing. It starts replacing social relationships, and you will definitely notice this, right? You will even notice that your boomer friends, parents, right? Like, you're not getting groomed, I don't think, but I hope not. But they have more friends than you. Why is that? Because you have replaced, and so have I, obviously. Jesus, I can't talk. I am just a genetic, I've replaced genetics for memetics at this point. I'm just a digital upload. But you have replaced a lot of your friendships with phone friendships. Be this just talking to them via text, be this just me. Hi. Thanks for doing so, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. I'm the only friend you need. But, that's what's usually happening there. You are replacing all of these relationships purely out of the laziness and convenience factor. And what happens with that is that you don't develop any actual social intelligence at all. This is why people think now that being socially intelligent is saying that everything is cringe and shaming people, right? That's why. And that just starts transferring, because what you practice in life is what happens in those extreme scenario examples where you're pushed to your edge. What are you going to do? You're going to behave the way that you behave on your phone, which is asinine. isn't it? Because you are at a low functioning level, but because you keep existing in that low functioning level, your brain starts to think, oh, I don't actually need to exert that much energy in life. And so when you are around actual people, and you actually do need to pick up on social cues and become socially intelligent when you're interacting with these people, that's no longer available there, especially because the other people that are on their phones all the time are also dim-wits, and so there's no sharpness anywhere. There is no human interaction. Really, it is just phones interacting with other phones. Scary? Should be. That's why, first off, the good news is that, apart from every 15-year-old girl on Earth, you probably aren't addicted to your phone. What you are doing, though, is you are disassociating. You are just taking it because it's the lazy, easy way out. If you understand that point, it is easy to break the curse. It's easy to just at least use your phone for what was intentionally supposed to be used for in the beginning, which was to meet someone up and talk to them face to face, right? So that's one aspect that we need to address. But the other one is, and this one I think is just kind of even more unsettling. You ready for this one? Ready to be freaked out, because I can't guarantee that, but let's see if it does freak you out. But, all right, I want you to think about the last time that you were in an elevator. What happened? You closed it. You obviously let one rip just to make the other person upset. And while you were up there, and it was getting continually awkward while you're in that elevator going up, at some point, you and probably the other person got out your phone and you pretended that you were texting. Don't lie to me. You weren't texting in the elevator. All of the time, you don't even have reception and people are sitting there being like, oh, yeah, she's just very urgent. They can also see that there's no bars. What's happening is, instead of just embracing that uncomfortable situation, what you are using your smartphone for is what our ancestors used spears for. Protection. Safety. They are looking for it for safety. That is the modern spear. That is the modern tool of like, protect me. Isn't it pathetic? And if you're honest with yourself, you go through these throughout the day whenever you are remotely uncomfortable. This is terrible. This is the same thing as constantly washing a kid's sores, instead of just allowing them to build up immunities in their body so that the bacteria allows them to scab over and actually heal, instead of just going like, oh, it's not, I'll just keep putting Dettol on it, right? Like, it's the same thing. It's just like, it's making it so you find every social situation intolerable. That's what the phone is doing. Like, to the point that you can't even be in an enclosed space with a stranger for what, 30 seconds? You freak out about it. I noticed this a long time ago, and I made a deliberate habit of it, that when I was in the lift, at the very least, I wasn't going to get my phone out. Didn't have to make eye contact, didn't have to say hi. Although I think that that's the next level, right? Which is something that, just not to brag, I sometimes do. I sometimes say hi. And you want to talk about making the situation uncomfortable. Because where's the small talk go from there? But, what you are doing with that elevator thing is anestheticing social situations. That's what's happening there. You are making it so, and this is something that you always see online as well, like everyone's go, awkward. Most social situations didn't used to be awkward. They're just awkward now because it just like incessantly raises anxiety in the human mind. And so there is just this continual anxiety when you're not with it, as this sort of protection advice that you see. It's like your bloody little Harry Potter wand you think you have, right? All it is actually doing in reality is alleviating that anxiety, because it is allowed to, again, this is the key word of this whole thing, disassociate from the situation, from the social situation. Instead of learning something from the social situation, instead of practicing a habit from the social situation, you've got your easy way out. But you've got your easy way out in every scenario. It was like the most profound movie ever made, which of course was Adam Sandler's Click. In Adam Sandler's Click, what could happen? He could fast forward all the boring parts of his life. And what happened then? He just kept fast forwarding more and more and more and more until he was an old man and he couldn't rewind. everyone has that click remote now, and they didn't learn the message. And it tears me up inside. And it really does. It is such a shame that that is what the human condition has been reduced to. That it's spear now, what it was supposed to be using to fight off tigers, is now being used because being in the elevator with someone and, clearing your throat nervously makes you feel so uncomfortable that you need to get out. You need to pause your life for a second. You need to just be completely removed from it. And in doing so, this is the scary thing, right? Like, the reason that I'm using that elevator analogy, one is because you can relate, but the other one is, if that's happening in that situation, can you imagine where else is happening? I'm sure you do it at parties. I mean, that's what the research is showing. I'm sure you probably don't even go to the parties now. You just look at it online and you're just like, oh, that sucks, it's lame. It's awesome, me being by myself. And, as somebody who is, an extreme hermit, yeah, it is. But also, this is the other thing. The reason that I am an extreme hermit is because not of this fear of interacting. It is because I am studying. I am constantly improving. You are not improving when you are on your phone. You are actively making the decision. I, in this moment, want nothing from this experience. I do not want to gain anything from this experience. I want the easy way out. And this is something else. This is like one of those other small wins that I'm always talking about on this channel. When you're on the bus, when you see everyone that's when you have to trigger yourself to just start smiling on the bus, because changing physiology works. It makes you happier throughout your day. Makes you more grateful for what you have. So this is what I want you to do with your phone. First of all, I obviously want you to dumb it down. But the second thing that I want you to realize is, why are you on it? Because you don't want to be in your life at that moment. Can you just acknowledge this? That's sad. That is really sad that you don't want to be in your own life. You want to escape it. Well, I'm sorry, but a huge part of life is just going through boring motions and actually gaining something out of the boredom. As we said in a previous video, it was amazing, the psychological responses of people that were just forced to sit with their own thoughts for 20 minutes. And because they've been on their phones for so long, they've realized, oh, actually, I really like this. And they forgot what it was like to actually sit there and problem solve in their own head and think of creative ideas instead of just in front of your face right now. It gets a bit tiring. You are not learning anything. You are not gaining anything from the experience. You are escaping your own life. You are using it as a defensive mechanism primarily, and you can stop it if you acknowledge it. You found that useful? You should have. If you want more useful stuff, you sign up to Jordan Shanks. I give out 2 extra videos a week for those who pay the nominal fee, of course, which is absolutely nothing. It's just you give more to beggars on the street, but beggars on the street don't give you as much as I'm giving you. I can assure you of that. I'm giving you a university degree for an absolute fraction of the price, an absolute fraction, and I will make you money, unlike the university degree will. And of course, that's a guarantee. And so make sure that you come to my Melbourne show as well, if you want to have your mind blown. And if you don't want to have your mind blown, that's because you're a disassociating, weak little bitch, isn't it? You can't handle the truth, which is what that entire show is. It is just raw red pills from beginning to end. If you don't like it, there's no money back guarantee, but you will like it. Trust me. It is mind-blowing. It blows my mind every time I'm performing it. Every time I do it, I'm just like, fuck. Holy fuck. It is true, man. It's all rigged. So, yeah, make sure that you come see it. And I'll see you next time.